All right, good morning. Let's see what the market's got in store for us today. Snap up 5%, breaking out of that good looking pattern, or trying to break out of that good looking pattern. That's it's good volume. Snap raise to buy for neutral at Guggenheim. Go Guggenheim. Court INS. Looks like you guys up overnight. Not able to sustain that so far. Everything else kind of in line with yesterday. ESNT took it on the chin pretty hard. Really hard. That's not a good sign. Overstock ended up down 25, really? Wow, I didn't have a chance to look yesterday. Where is it at? Oh, I took it off my list. It dropped because I took it off my list. Look at that drop, dude. All the way up from basically 30 to 12. That's insane. Why is it down so much? Digital preferred stock? I don't even know what that is. Securities, oh, Series A1, digital preferred stock. Wow. So they're going digital with their stock? How do I not know more about this? I know they've been involved in the crypto space for a minute, but huh. Where would you trade OSTKO? Maybe that's why it's down so much. We're taking their stock off the stock market. OSTKO. Where to trade OSTKO? T0. I just see T0. Whatever T0 is. Hold on a second. All right, this is interesting. I never heard of any of this. How is this? How are we not talking more about this in the blockchain community, which I'm a part of? Oh, the CFO quit on top of all this? That's nice. So, OSTKO is available on T0, and they registered, Overstock issued the first SEC registered digital security in 2016. The blockchain voting Series A preferred stock, OSTKP, Weird. Overstock.com, which develops blockchain-based financial technologies. Don't they still sell couches and stuff? Has two unique businesses. Yeah, they still have the retail business. And they have blockchain. Okay. Wow. Looks like Overstock.com has a bunch of interesting political theories and willing to back it up with lots of money. Rare that you hear a CEO say deep state. Although if there was someone in the deep state, you probably could be concerned that the SEC was part of it. They really don't seem to serve the people very often. Or actually meet their mandate. Anyway. Alright, yeah, so I guess Overstock taking a huge dump. Huge dump right there. Alright, let's see what's leading. Snap looks like it's pulled back a little bit. On the daily chart, this thing looks like it's ready to pop. Here's the weekly chart. Beautiful little cup shape formation. Daily chart. Yeah, pretty decent. Pretty decent on the right side. Buddy Anik trying to pop back up. Sherwin-Williams still selling paint. That's always good. BLD. Transports look healthy. Green today. Little gap up. Pull back here. Nothing crazy yet. If that's just another pause, and if we can break higher out of this range on the transports, you'll see the markets rally pretty hard probably. Chipotle. Very small little pattern going on here. Not a base quite yet. One down week. So we'll see how that one plays out there. NXPI, EPAM, still looking strong. NXPA. Starbucks reversing higher yesterday after reversing lower the previous day. That's what's called a choppy market, ladies and gentlemen. Still a little bit choppy here, getting back up towards the breadth of the red candle. So not really giving us any clear directional sense as of yet. DR Horton, still good. Booking.yeah, CRM, MDCO. Failed at that trendline break. Technically, I guess it's probably not even a trendline break if you... On the daily chart, on the 5-minute chart, it looks like it tried to break it for a minute. Constellation Real Page still looking good, squeezing up into that resistance line. Atlassian still basing. MJ still dropping. Morning, Laurie. GLD, a little bit of rollover, match resting. DocuSign resting. Twilio, firmly lower under everything. I'm not even sure why I still have this on my radar. Probably just because it's probably forming a big base. Solar stock's looking good. You got any names? Throw them out. Let's do it. Carvana failing up here. Right on the 50-day moving average. Looks like that's not going to be a problem going through that for a little bit. And then our buddy Light pulling back from its long-term trend line right there. SunPower's a solar stock I'm familiar with, and look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Very nice. So since this is your name, you don't connect these two, and this would be a capital P, right? Because Ethan Pratt. That's very good, though. That's excellent.
We haven't learned the uppercase P.
You what?
We haven't learned the uppercase P.
Want me to write you all the uppercase cursive letters? No? Okay.
Wait, no.
Say hi to Rob. Say hi to Laurie. Say hi to Laurie.
Hi, Laurie.
You missed Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Ethan brought me his cursive name that he wrote. He's learning cursive in 3rd grade. You're in 3rd grade already? Stop it. I don't want to learn any more teachers, okay?
Hey, you're at a high school.
Let's stick with Miss Billings. We're good there. I still go to high school. I see one every once in a while.
Okay, that doesn't mean you go there.
Good job, Ethan. Yeah, SPW busted with 13.3. Looks like a... On the up day there, pretty nice. Yeah, no, that looks really good. Solar stocks haven't really been on our radar. Maybe we should put them on our radar. We got here up 27%, 28%. Deep base. So that's good. And these haven't really seen a lot of love in a long time. So yeah, recent high of 40 prior to that, 164 back in 2007. Not sure we're going to see those glory days, but let's look at some IBD solar stuff and see what SunPower and some of these other guys are up to. Thanks, Larry. That's nice to look at something that's burgeoning. Let's check it out. And it looks like it's going again right now. 59 composite rating, relative strength is 99. Of course, it started out this year gangbuster. Look at the weekly chart. A couple days, like 1 week before the year, and then boom, just goes. That's awesome. Okay, manufactures high performance solar power. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Check out competitors, or at least the leading competitors. SEDG. That's also trying to break out of a base, looks like. DQ, which is not Dairy Queen. JKS. And then SunPower. Those are the top 5 in the solar energy group. Minus 2,100% EPS change last quarter. Estimate was really bad. Sales -3. Solar's so hard to get behind right now from a fundamental perspective. It's been that way for a while. Oh, were they the stock of the day yesterday? Okay. No, it wasn't the stock of the day for some reason. They just threw it on there. Wow, #1 industry group rank. Solar plus storage solutions. Oh, what are they? Haven't seen that before. Solar plus storage. There we go. First solar. Check out some other ones. Very similar pattern. and Sunrun, VSLR, other ones, Vivint Solar. First Solar looks pretty good. It's a flat base. Breakout point would be up here to about 75 from like this very multi-year base structure. Nasdaq looks like it's up 0.4%. Not too bad. So solar being a bright spot there for sure. Hmm. Sorry, I was over here going through the some IBD stuff. See if I can find some stock list. Hey, what's up, Eli? NIO down 19%. Apparently. NIO to eliminate 21% of workforce. Yeah. People see Elon make Tesla and everyone all of a sudden thinks they can make car companies. The problem is your cars suck. I was talking with my pool guy. I got my pool guy trading stocks, and well, he was loosely interested. I'm the guy that kind of gave him the confidence to go all in a direction. Um, he's like super IBD now. It's pretty cool. But we were talking about Tesla, and he's a right wing guy. Not pretty right wing, not crazy right wing, but pretty right wing. And we were talking about Tesla, and he like doesn't get the whole global warming thing and all that stuff too. And he goes, I don't think Tesla's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work out because it doesn't the electricity comes from carbon producing sources. Like he's like, still 80% is burning fossil fuels. 80% of the electricity in the nation is still burning fossil fuels. I don't think Tesla can deliver on the promise. And I'm like, I don't know if that's how some people think about Tesla, but I'm like, you don't understand. Tesla's just a good car, dude. He's like, he said, I mean, why haven't all these other electric car companies work? I'm like, we've had an electric Civic for years. We've had Prius hybrid, which was pretty good, which actually sold really good numbers. It's still doing good. Prius is a pretty decent car. It's a pretty decent car. Tesla is a super excellent car. Tesla is a very, very nice car. The reason why all these other companies don't work is because their cars suck. The Civic electric car sucked really bad. You had zero trunk space. The battery was all in the trunk. And anyway, NIO down 19% today. Let's look at Tesla for a minute, speaking of which. Down a bunch today, yeah. Actually, just 1%. Yeah, there's definitely some news out on Tesla. Some people are looking into some potential impropriety around the Solar City acquisition. We'll see what comes of it, if anything. Cup and handle still in place. Don't have a firm handle here for the past couple of weeks. So if we can break out of that, your 20% up would be, drum roll please, 304. Yeah, I knew you were going to make me move my mouse to hit the OK button. Bastard. So 304 for Tesla is your 20% range.
Daddy, can I go to our new friend's house?
Oh, no, it's too, baby, it's too early in the morning. They're still sleeping. You need to get dressed for the day. Today's a school day. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah, so Tesla take it on the chin a little bit here. Hopefully this handle will work out pretty nicely. Pretty decent cup and handle. Market up 0.48%. Snap hasn't rallied any further. Popped up this morning, but stalling out so far. Take a look at the ES, which is the S&P 500 futures. It's the same thing as the, well, SPY is the ETF implementation of that. Briefly hit a high yesterday before pulling back. Pretty good overall. How's our buddy gold doing? Pulling back today after a pretty decent day yesterday. Past couple of days trying to break out of this range. Unable to really get a foothold though. It's been a little more difficult to do this one. Not bad though. Check out our global list. NBEV up 15% today. It's got to be some good news. SLV, let's go look in a second. After CBD product approval in Japan, so they're able to go into the Japanese beverage market. All right, so good for NBEV there. Whole new market opening up. Yeah, big gap up yesterday. Didn't rally much after that. And definitely down today. Someone taking some profits. Man, these commodities are so hard to play sometimes. General uptrend obviously still intact so far. Nothing too crazy. 50-day moving average, which I don't think that means a whole lot on an ETF, to be honest with you, but you've got definitely an upward trend, so still pretty low in the trend. Not sure if you want to jump in. The volume was okay, but definitely within the trend of volume for the consolidation. So it was elevated volume for these lower days, but it's kind of, riding average, which isn't necessarily great. You'd like to see above average volume, but it's definitely elevated. Not the worst thing in the world. Is that my line? What line is that? Nope, that's an actual candle. All right. And you can see drawing that trend line right there, we basically stop right on it. Stop right on it and reverse. So probably wait till we get through that trend line for for much more. There's a lot of risk down here, not a tremendous amount of reward to the trend line. So give that a little bit. Anik moving up today, win. Norfolk Southern turning around. Coop, not bad. Not bad at all. Good volumes. Rallying up the past couple of days. Trying to get back up there towards those 155s. Yeah, the reason why SLV is gappy is because it trades a commodity which trades 24/7. That's the difference right there. Is when you're trading 24/7, this market's only open 6.5 hours a day. So there's a lot of opportunity for price movement. Roku, very happy down here, not really bouncing much at all. That's not positive. INSG may be setting up. Artec, Toll Brothers, Cisco. Apple's doing good. Apple's doing pretty good. Break that trend line down at 205. It's up about 10%. And it's kind of just chopping its way up. We may get into a larger run here. Kind of, looks pretty bullish. One of the biggest stocks in the market, obviously. Speaking of big stocks, let's look at some big ones. Let's look at some Amazon. Haven't really looked at Amazon in a while. It's been fairly tame. Good way to put it. Still doing fine. I mean, the Amazon growth story is not done, for crying out loud, so I can't really imagine how it's not going to be fine. Overall, really good right there. Probably see the first $5,000 stock in Amazon next 5 years. Crazy. Microsoft, which is just the tightest stock in the world, really. This thing just doesn't. This is literally, it's so insane how tight Microsoft is. Look at that. Super good price action. And let's look at Berkshire Hathaway. Very range bound here for the past little bit. Don't know the last time it's been so range bound. Sideways now for almost 2 years. Pretty range bound down here. Oh, the bees came out. Really? It doesn't seem like it was freaking 20 years ago. Man, I'm old. I remember when these came out. And it does. There's no way this was 20 years ago. I guess it was 20 years ago. When this thing IPO? 96. I was paying attention to stocks in 96. I guess that makes sense. I graduated in 97. I remember distinctly when this thing IPO'd. Wow. Maybe I was looking at stocks back earlier than I thought I was. I thought it was like 17, 18. Well, I guess this would make me 17. Wow, I was a geek. So multi-year base for Berkshire Hathaway. Maybe just setting up for the next run in the markets. See if we can get A. How far does that one go back on this chart? Back to 91. Well, look at 91, 55 to 80. From 5.5 to 80. Welcome to the 90s. And look at the year 2000 hits. They already... Oh, no, there's 99. Very tight as well. Yeah, it's true. That's true, but I it's hard to say if it's going to fall. He's really built such a dynamic company. I mean, it would lose some value for sure, but he already has a hard time putting capital to work. He's got a bunch of capital he can do nothing with. So it's kind of a weird situation with Berkshire Hathaway. Alphabet takes over Apple to become the most cash-rich company? Oh, this is interesting. 117 billion in cash. What's Apple been doing with theirs? Wasting it on Tim Cook trying to be creative. Heavy investment in real estates by Alphabet. Okay. Interesting. Wasn't aware of that. So Google with more cash than Apple. That's interesting. Companies with largest cash piles. Can't just give me a list. Gotta give me a freaking thing. When was this? Apple? This is obviously old. Apple has $225 billion cash on hand. That's still ridiculous. Hmm. 10 companies with more spare cash than most countries. Amazon's got 22 billion. Facebook 30. Gilead 34 billion, more than Qatar. Johnson & Johnson is more than Romania. Oracle has 60 billion. Man, that's cash. That is amazing. Cisco 71 billion. Google 92 billion. Berkshire 96. That's what I wanted to see, Berkshire Hathaway. $96 billion. He's unable to put to good use. Microsoft 126 billion. Apple 256 billion. I think that's globally though. More than the UK. Man, companies are taking over the world. They will basically buy they'll just start buying countries. They'll be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna headquarter ourselves in Greece, buy Greece, and have Greece work for us. Doesn't seem like a bad idea to me. If you have $256 billion, just bail the country out, buy it, and then go there and live tax-free as a company. Hey, James. Hi. That's fine. You can look. Looking at the rain?
Yeah, and can you brush my teeth?
Oh, you want me to brush your teeth? In a little bit, okay? All right. Coop looks pretty good. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to bail out of here in a little bit. Go brush some teeth. Anyone need their teeth brushed? I'm good at that. I've got a job on the side where I brush teeth for 5-year-olds. I messed up on your 8-year-old one time. He doesn't let you brush his teeth anymore. So market down it's up 0.25%, but down from about 0.5% earlier. So doing okay. We're just kind of floating around right here. ESNT, it kind of looks broken, doesn't it? Yeah, very definitive breakout on ESNT. At the same time, it's not rallying by any stretch. It immediately rolled over. Um, so yeah, I don't know if it's broken. It could reverse back up fairly quickly. ESNT has been choppy. As kind of we had this double bottom base, if you recall, we kind of chopped our way higher. We may do something similar to that. We may not see a genuine rally as we were hoping for with a base on base pattern, but it is what it is. Um, in terms of it being broken, I don't think it's broken. I think just have your normal stop loss on it, whatever you originally planned on. But definitely weakness has immediately shown up, which is usually not a good thing, not such a good thing, especially pulling back into the base as deep as it has. It pulled back deeper than it broke out. So not very happy with that by leaps and bounds, to be quite honest with you. So I don't think it's broken, but it's definitely not healthy. Once it undercuts its 50-day moving average here, that's probably your definite line in the sand. Should be about 6% from about 3% for the breakout point or so, 3.5%. Sorry, I thought it was the 10-day, 6.5%. So I mean, it's down significantly already. This is another 2.5%, but I think that's kind of your line in the sand. Is it closing below the 50-day probably? Yeah. Not my favorite price action of the year by far. Anything changed here? No, not really. Snap, Anik, kind of bouncing back some, or no, dropping some. Wow. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day here. Market just doing what it's doing. I think we're flat on the futures from yesterday's close, 0.25% up. Got to wait for more Trumpy tweets, and then we'll be maybe back on our way. Starbucks not broken either. This definitely more broken. Starbucks is more broken. It broke the 50-day on very high volume. That is a overt sell signal. That is a sell signal. So if it's got to get back above the 50-day really for this thing to get healthy again. Even a bounce out of this, and it could fail on the 50-day. And some people will take failures on a situation like this. They'll take a short, a break of the 50-day, and then a test of the 50-day that fails. They'll take a short at the 50-day and ride it lower. Fundamentally, Starbucks still looks great. All the stuff we talked about when we were looking normal a month ago are still intact. The fundamentals, I believe, that are still there intact. They did obviously have some issues with the SEC investigating them, but they also investigated 50 other companies for the exact same thing, so it wasn't Starbucks specific. They're just making sure these companies are dealing with regulatory stuff. Looks like EU is doing something with Starbucks too. So, EU court sides with Starbucks. Starbucks wins the EU fight. Okay. So, good stuff in Starbucks too. I think I'm not sure what happened here, to be honest with you. I mean, there were those news events, but I don't know if that's really what caused it to falter. But regardless, it faltered. We just deal with that situation. And so probably right now, I think could be a double bottom pattern with a breakout of pretty much where we wanted to initially buy. Right there, about just under the 97.5 level, or just over, because actually it would be at these recent highs there. That would be your buy point if this is indeed a double bottom base, which it could be. Could just be forming that. So we may have just got caught up in a base formation. Down only 10%, so it's definitely still within flat base territory. Still very healthy consolidation. Could just be part of that. So just because it was a kind of a, like I said, this was an early buy point and went awry. That's why early buy points are risky. That's why you're supposed to go small in them. So yeah, but it's not dead. I don't think it's dead by any stretch. It's still a flat base. This consolidation easily could still work out. Your general Your general breakout point is up here above 99.82. You take 10% over the high in a flat base situation. So we still have 5% lower we can go for it to be still be considered a flat base. There's 15% down to the $85 level. I mean, so easily still could have more room to go to the downside and still be a very valid flat base. Just consolidating with the rest of the market. Maybe that's the difference here. So I think Starbucks trade still will be a good trade. It's just not ready. Wasn't ready. Even if you're early, you're still wrong. That's a saying that's definitely true, and especially true in this situation. So, all right, guys, well, have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.